What's up, everybody? Welcome back, right? Welcome back to season 2. We're still going to stick to the season 2, even though it's been probably enough time for us to be on season 3 now.
Season 3 they're wrapping up the tour, so season 3 is right around the corner.
We got lost episodes for you. We actually do. That's not even a lie. We have one lost episode.
Yeah, that broke my heart. We spent, like an hour. Good episode. Coming back, explaining everything that's going on, and technical error. I guess that's on me then, because something went wrong with the audio and video. So, lost.
It happens. It was a good warm-up session for this, so I'm glad we were able to do it. We needed to warm up before we started this one. So this one will be season 2, officially episode 3.
Yes. 4. This is episode 4.
We'll get it right one day.
That's whatever the graphic says, title of the podcast.
Yeah. Episode 4. So, obviously you haven't seen us in a while. I'm sure everybody's wondering what's going on. I know there's probably been a lot of rumors floating around. I mean, I haven't heard any, but I know with the certain moves that we've made lately, it's kind of put people wondering what Lucky Ace is doing and where we intend to go from here. Because obviously we had to make a pivot and pivot.
For any Friends fans out there,
I'm not even a big Friends fan, and I know that.
They own. That's the power of that joke, is that they just own that word forever now.
Yeah, they do. Well, you know what? Before we start,
I'm doing this on the fly.
I thought that was that.
No, it's the wrong
light's
color.
going
No,
crazy.
I'm making sure it fits the Lucky Ace.
Does the
color
TV
palette
mess up with the coloring?
No, we're good. We get to keep updating the game and everything.
This is the Thursday night football edition of the Lucky Ace podcast, and
so if occasionally we just trail off and stare off screen, it's because something's happening.
a proud fantasy football owner.
Okay.
Of 2 teams this year, and a degenerate gambler.
Okay, there you go.
So we will have the game.
So if you just see stress sweats coming down his forehead, it's because dude's about to uncut gems himself and lose everything.
Great movie, by the way.
Great movie, yeah.
I kind of want to just this episode will just kind of be not as long as our other ones. We'll just kind of go over where we've been the last few months, what we're doing, and what we plan to do in the future. First things first, we did close down our last shop, which was at the Zip, and unfortunately, that also came with having to let Debbie go as an employee for Lucky Ace, which was it was a very emotional parting.
I bet, because she was running the show and she cared deeply about Lucky Ace,
and it was tough. I knew it was going to be tough, and if I'm being quite honest, which I like to do on this podcast, I think it kind of is a little therapy for me as well. But I feel like I let that shop continue to go, even though it was failing, and not because of Debbie. I want to make that clear. The reason was not because of Debbie. It was just the economy. I mean, everything that's going on. Sales were slow. Weather sucks during the summer. So, I mean, everything was just slow. So it wasn't because of Debbie. I want to make that clear. Because that's kind of how she took it. You know how she is.
Yeah, it's hard not to take that personal, though, especially when you're not a giant business. So it's not like you're letting go 10% of your staff, blah, blah, blah. You're letting a specific person go who is critical to the business. And so it's indicative of the times. Like you mentioned, I mean, it's not just Lucky Ace. It's every single disc golf shop that I am in any kind of way familiar with is having slow sales.
Yeah, no, it most definitely is. Obviously, I do, take ownership. I know there's things that I could have done better. But being a first-time business owner, I mean, you're going to learn from your mistakes. That's really the only way you can learn. And unfortunately, because I loved having Debbie and having the Zip so much, I held on a lot longer to the shop than I probably should have.
Okay.
Which, put me in a bind. The income wasn't really there anymore. I had expanded to 2 shops. I mean, a pro tour shop basically going around on the pro tour selling. And that's when business was booming. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I couldn't keep disc on the shelves. And now it's a little bit like crickets sometimes. There used to be times where I would have alerts on my phone and it would just be going off all the time. And it's because the website was doing so well. Sales were doing well at the Zip. And then, we were running all these tournaments, which is another thing I'm going to go over too, because, there's been a something that we're going to pivot with our tournaments. And because they've kind of gotten so bland, if I'm going to be frank, not just ours, but everybody's running these C-tier flexes. That honestly, back in the day, when we first started running them, that was like gold. Like that was like, wow. Like I learned it from Tree Love. Everybody wanted to play sanctioned rounds back then. Everybody wanted merch. So it was a perfect way for us to run weekly rated rounds for our customers, where the AMs could get merch and then the pros could get, paid out in cash with, a ratings update,
Sure.
Good rate. Everybody wants to get their rating. But everybody started doing it.
Yeah.
And
I noticed that too.
there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not at all.
Yeah, it's a good thing for the sport.
I'm not talking shit at all. I mean, I just went to Lone Star's flex today. I played in their flex. So I'm not I'm not dogging it. I play in it. I enjoy it, but it's played out. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's already been done too much. And now there's overlapping tournaments to where people are like, so like, there's so many options. There's too many options. It's flooded.
The market's a bit flooded. Yes. So what kind of ideas do you have to help kind of facilitate that?
I have some great ideas actually. However, I'm getting sidetracked.
Okay.
Let me get back to exactly like where we've been, and then I'll get to where we're going. And that's my fault. I got off track.
It's fine. I gotcha.
So yeah, I held on to the Zip build longer than I should have, which put me in a bind. Then June, so right after LOSO, right? High point, great, everything's going good. Right after LOSO, I go to have a meeting with J-Dub, a meeting to take over the world. We're ready.
Sure.
We made all this money. We want to reinvest it into the business and come up with new merch. I had shirts lined up with Jonathan from Tree Love. Unfortunately, obviously we don't have any shirts, so there's a reason for that.
Sure.
I was on my way to J-Dub's and my check engine light came on.
That's the little butthole pucker moment.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, it's a new truck. It's a 2021 Chevy Silverado. It's a new truck. It's probably something small. And as I'm always blaring my music, you know what I'm saying? So as I saw that, I turned the music off, and as soon as I turned the music off, I heard something.
Oh Lord. Something
was different. And I was like, oh, this sucks, man. I'm always dealing with something with this truck. You know this. I've been dealing with it. So I'm like, okay, let's go have this meeting. I was able to get to J-Dub's house because I was like a mile away. So I got there, had the meeting, and then I called the tow truck guy. They took it to a mechanic, and they were going to call me back and let me know what's up. So a day later, I get a call. Hey, and this is probably the worst news I got in like forever, dude. Because the truck's paid off, right? Just paid it off. 2021 Chevy Silverado, great truck. Oh, I thought. He's like, yeah, the piston is not firing and cylinders.
I don't know much about cars.
I don't know
pistons
either.
Are important.
Yeah, they are. And he said that, and I was like, ooh, that's gonna be a lot. And he goes, yeah, man, it looks like this is just gonna need an engine replacement. And I said, a new engine? Like,
oh, you feel like, isn't that what you're really selling when you sell a car? Is
yeah,
like
yeah.
The engine part?
So like a new truck. Like
Basically.
I was like, and the thing that sucks for those of y'all that don't know, this is my work truck. This is what I use to go vend, to go on the tour, pull my trailer, and so I had 142,000 miles on it. So guess what? No warranty for me.
Oh, bummer.
Even though it's a 3-year-old vehicle. And that's the thing that I battle with so much with them in arguing is like, dude, this is a new vehicle. I get it, 142,000 miles. It's all highway miles. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's brand new, man. This truck is still brand new. But to kind of cut this short, so we're not talking so much about this truck that I've been stressing about for the last. So this is mid-June, right? We're in September.
In like middle-ish of September.
Yeah, this is September. This is June. I don't have my truck still. So what I ended up having to do is got a second opinion, went to the dealership. They're going to replace my engine. I mean, I'm paying for it, so it's not like they're doing me anything good, but they're going to replace my engine, and then my transmission was going out, so I'm getting a new transmission and a new engine.
Bro, you're basically getting a new truck.
I am. But it's cheaper than buying a new truck. It's the only reason I'm doing this, because once I replace that, my 2021 Chevy Silverado, it is still brand new, and it will be brand new. And then I get the warranty. So,
well, at least that's good-ish. I mean,
yeah,
in
that's
a garbage
great,
situation.
Right? In a garbage
silver lining,
situation. Then, then they tell me, oh yeah. Originally it was 3 to 4 weeks. Long time. I'm shitting bricks. I got places to be. I'm supposed to be going to Ledgestone. Supposed to be doing all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then these 2-3 weeks gone by, and I'm like, hey man, so where are we at? I haven't heard from y'all. Oh man, so the engines are back ordered. And I was like, yeah, I think back ordered. I'm like, okay, well, what, another couple weeks or whatever? And then, well, the last time I saw something like this, it was like 9 months. And I go, again, like it went from low to low to low to low to low to low. I'm all the way down. You know what I mean? And so after agreeing and stressing to pay for all this stuff, now I got to fucking wait till this engine comes in.
Yeah.
And as we're sitting here right now, the engine just came in last week.
That's insane. This was when? This
mid-June.
You'd think they'd hook you up. This was the dealership, right?
Yeah.
You'd think they'd hook you up with a rental truck kind of situation.
I tried to argue it. I did. I even did the whole Facebook thing where I commented on everything that they would put.
Yeah.
I had like a whole story, and I would just copy paste, boom, 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 until Facebook was like, you can't do that. And I was like, but I'm getting screwed here.
You're
like,
paying for so much. Do you think the least they do is give you a loaner, and then if you jack up the loaner, charge you for that? Like, it just seems like such an easy
So I
decision.
get it if like they were doing some like minor repairs on an old truck.
Yeah, consider it's a work truck.
Get your own. And I was like, bro, give me fucking older trucks that you have sitting out here trying to sell. Let me drive that. Like, you guys owe me. Like,
They really do.
I'm paying.
Which dealership was this? Put them on blast.
I'm not gonna put the service center on blast because I didn't buy the truck there.
Okay.
But Chevy can kiss my ass.
There you go.
Yeah,
Chevy Ford from here on out.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that these engines are in the Fords, they're in the GMs, so it's just the whole problem. And I start, when these things happen to you, you deep dive. I know we're talking about my truck a lot, but we'll be done in a second. You do like a deep dive on your problem, and then you start finding out that everybody's having this problem.
Oh, bro, yeah.
There's like, so they've already fixed it, made a new engine for the 2022s and up, right after mine.
They knew there was a problem.
Yeah, they knew, and I can almost guarantee you the reason the engines are back ordered is because they're having to replace so many fucking engines, bro. Some guy was like, "What truck do you have?" I was like, a Chevy Silverado. He's like, "Bro, how do they not have those engines? That engine is in every truck out right now. Like, there's no way they don't have that engine." And I go, if they're replacing all the ones that they fucked up on, there's no engines, bro. So
what you're saying is everyone needs to buy a bunch of discs so we can get that truck situated.
Please. So on top of already holding on to the zip, there's the truck. I'm just kind of giving you an example of all the stuff that's been going on. That put me in a little bit of a bad place.
Sure.
I'm real good with dealing with my mental game. But it was tough. And what I do is hermit crab the fuck out of it and just stay in my little bubble where I can't get hurt. I'm like Bubble Boy,
Oh, bro, I do the same exact thing. You better believe that. Nah, dude, I hear you. And it's been going around in terms of car troubles, dude. My AC went out a couple months ago and nice and toasty here in Texas. And so I was trying to just tough it out for a bit just because I'm stubborn and I hate calling people. So I don't want to call the dealership. And so literally it took me, I'm not joking, probably a month and a half, 2 months, dying in my car every time I drove it. It was literally like, do I want to go here? I'm like, I'll just stay home today. And eventually I took it to the dealership, in and out. The next day, they told me it was ready to go. Warranty covered it. My own problems of the next day, it was completely fine. Now my AC is perfect, but that's just my own self-made problems. I'm just going to suffer silently for 2 months because I don't want to call someone. So we all got our problems.
Oh yeah, dude. It's it sucks, man. You know, I don't want to be that old guy. They don't make them like they used to, but like, I mean,
You bought American? Come on.
I have a 2000 Nissan Frontier at my parents' place. 2000. Got like 350,000 miles. It still works. It's chugging, but it still works. You know?
Yeah.
They don't make them. They don't make them.
That's unfortunate.
So that sucks. Okay. So through that process, I even kind of like strayed a little away from the kids. Just because like I was almost kind of like ashamed to even tell them what was going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started a business relationship kind of. Well, me and Mason kind of knew each other, but the girls, it was more of like passing by. And then we decided to do a business relationship with sponsoring them. So then that's how I kind of got to know them. But now it's like, they're like family to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard for me to have a conversation with them like, hey, the business isn't doing what I thought it was going to. I'm dealing with all these things. Like, I don't know what my future is going to look like. So, I don't want to stop y'all from making the most money that you can make, because I know with tour going on, and I mean, there's not a lot of money right now going on in disc golf. Like they're hurting. The tour's hurting. I don't know if they want to admit it or not, but it's hurting.
I think they're aware, and the coverage and stuff is strategic in their camera stuff. They're trying not to show the thin crowds as much as they can.
Yeah, it's now Worlds was great. There was a lot of people there, but yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and we'll get into some stuff that I was hearing on the tour, because I guess that's something that I need to start doing a little bit, is kind of spilling a little bit of the tea without like,
Sure.
too much, because that's what people are going to watch this podcast for, right? The inside scoop. But yeah, no, the Pro Tour is hurting. So you see it everywhere. You really do. But I kind of got lost in the point that I was trying to make.
I honestly don't know either. ADHD.
Yeah.
So you were talking about, you just finished up. talking about
The
your truck?
kids, the kids.
There you go.
Yeah. So I explained to them like, look, I don't know where I'm going to be next year. I'm still going to try and do this, but I don't want y'all to just try and stay with me because you guys love me. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the danger of
Absolutely love me.
the professional and friendship relationship, is you don't want to bind them because you guys are so close.
Yeah.
You want to give them the out of like, it's not personal. I get it.
Sure. Yeah. No, and that's how we talked. Now, I'm not like over here announcing like we're not sponsoring them right now. Like, obviously we're in a contract and we have them for the rest of the year. If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to probably have to like keep paying them after the contract's done, because we're falling behind. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk to them and tell them everything that was going on. It was tough to have that conversation, but it was all in my head, because when we had the conversation, it was the easiest conversation to have, and both parties felt the same way. Is like, we want to make sure that our friendship, our family like relationship stays intact. This business is for this.
That's awesome.
It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now I hope that in 6 months I'm sitting here like we just re-signed him. You know what I mean? Like, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me?
Another pick?
now? Wow.
Football, everybody.
But sometimes being a degenerate gambler is not a good thing. Oh my God.
You want to tell the kids now you're not going to be able to sign them? Because
Jesse, did you put Cook in? Oh my God. Oh my God. That's unfortunate. Anyway.
But the talk went well, you said.
Yes, the talk went extremely well. So to get out of my little hermit crab shell, I had actually already paid for the Airbnb in Virginia, and I was gonna try and cancel it because things have just been so slow. But I felt like I needed it. Like I needed the trip. I needed to get away, and the thought of like, oh, maybe I won't be able to make another one of these stops again. I better go.
That's a good point.
And it's Worlds.
That is true, yeah. And
there's people there I want to see. My homies, man. Like I've developed so many relationships with a lot of people on tour, like, and from like some of the players, the staff, you know what I mean? Like the vendors, like it's a small little a family, man. And I miss them. Like, it was cool to be there and having everybody like, Jay, what's up? Where you been, Jay? Mm-hmm. Even some of the players, and that's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
That is cool.
I got really close with Paige Pierce's caddy, Jared.
Okay.
He's the one that does all the paintings,
right?
The psychedelic stuff. Like, he's crazy. I love the guy. Brings the absolute best vibes on tour. I mean, he caddies for more people, but mainly Paige Pierce. So I've developed a really big relationship with him, and seeing him again was so much fun.
I bet.
Yeah, it was so much fun. So I made the choice to go. I talked to my homie Keith. Shout out to Keith Meets. We talk about him a lot.
Mm-hmm. Good dude.
Good friend. But yeah, Keith had got a plane ticket to go up there, and I was looking at plane tickets, and I'm like, okay, so they're such and such amount. But then when we get there, because Alexis and Nate, her boyfriend that was in the military,
mm-hmm.
he's out of the military now.
All right.
So he's on tour with them.
Cool.
So it's like, and me and Keith, so it's like, we're not all going to fit in the Jeep.
Sure.
So we have to get a rental car too. So I was like, you know what? It's the same amount if I get the rental car over there and here. So I might as well just get a rental car. Me and Keith, we can drive. And he got his money back for the plane. So me and Keith had a great road trip.
I bet that's fun.
Dude, it was one of the best road trips, and I needed it. Like, oh, it was so much fun. Like, we visited my cousin in Mississippi. Shout out to Matt. Because it's like 6 hours from here.
Okay.
Which didn't really break the trip down, because after that, there was still a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, that's most of the drive is still to come.
Still to come. But, we didn't have to pay for a hotel.
Yeah, it's about the experience, the whole, like, not the destination, the journey thing. Oh, especially when it's this kind of trip where you're not just like, I'm here to work. Like, you're there to clear your head. You're there to just have a good time.
Yep. And that's what we did, dude. We had such a great time. The trip up there was fun, which I'll tell you a funny story about Keith. I'm going to put you on blast, Keith. I'm going to put you on blast right now. So we rented this vehicle. It was a Kia Tusca, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. This car has it's not a self-driving, but it's got
lane assist?
Yeah, lane assist, and then smart cruise control.
Yeah, the adaptive one slows you down in front. Yeah, it's standard to me now.
Which is so nice on long road trips.
Oh yeah.
Except when Keith's driving.
Okay.
So I drove, and I was dealing with a bad earache. By the way, that I had the worst earache. Having an earache when you're an adult, much worse. Oh my God.
It's a bad time.
It was horrible, bro. Anyway, so I was feeling bad one of the mornings we were traveling up there, so Keith was gonna drive. And I get in the passenger seat, and we're cruising. And I show Keith how to set it up. He kind of knows because he has it in his Toyota. And he's driving, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm relaxing, and I'm kind of like nodding off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's quiet. It's quiet in the car.
Sure.
Then it's that quiet where it's like, wait a second. I'm not the only one asleep here.
Oh God, it's freaking. What's that movie? Oh, like Planes, Trains, Automobiles and stuff. All that stuff. Yeah. There's every pick of road trip movie that scene's gonna happen where both dudes are asleep.
Dude, so I'm nodding off, and then I look over, and Keith is, I don't know, I was probably only for a second, right? But okay. When I looked over, it was
Bro.
Hands on the wheel, but just
If there's,
And
you're
I
not
go-
driving a Tesla, my guy.
And
It's lane
that was the-
assist.
dude, that was the joke I kept saying all week. I'm sure it got old to him, but I was all, Keith fucking thinks we're driving a Tesla over here, dude. Like, he's out, dude. And I was like, Keith, and he woke up, and I blame myself. I was like, that was not a good move. I shouldn't have done
I mean, that's reaction though. You think you're gonna die at that.
because he woke up. It was like his eyes got wide open. He realized he was driving,
Sure.
and I'm just so glad he didn't like jerk the wheel.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Oh my
Because
God.
he went like this. It was the funniest
Dude
thing.
fell asleep when you're entitled to be a little loud and waking him up. You're not responsible
But
for
I
being
didn't
gentle.
want to like scare him to jerk the wheel, and then we're dead.
You needed that man awake, so you do what you gotta do to wake that man up.
So, needless to say, Keith didn't drive anymore. after
Sure, yeah, I
that.
bet you were wide awake after that.
That was fucking
There's
good.
not a shot of caffeine in the world that's
my
gonna wake you up like that. Oh my God.
dude. So I actually have a reel that I was making today about the trip. I know it's been 2 weeks, but that's just how I work. All right. A little recap. And I caddied for Val, so I have mainly videos of just Val.
Mhm.
You know, that's who I caddied for. So you'll see that reel here shortly. Obviously, when this comes out, you'll see it. But the in the reel, there's like pictures of like the weekend and the whole week, really, because it's a 5-day event. And like the first picture of me and Keith in the car was like the only picture that I took in the car where he was actually awake. The rest of him, he was asleep. He has no idea I took all these pictures.
That's
so when he
awesome.
sees this reel, he's gonna laugh because
That's a
there's
good time.
like there's probably like 20 pictures of him just out. And I kept sending it to the kids. I was like, look at this guy. Look at this great, this is my buddy on my road
Your
trip.
co-pilot
Yeah, my
supposed to be helping you
co-pilot.
out,
Like
right?
he's not helping me at all. So
Oh man, that's funny.
shout out to Keith though. It was a great time. He got to meet my family, and which Keith's like, he's such a nice guy, man. And he's like, he's one of those dudes when he sees and meets good people. I mean, he's like real open about it. And he's just telling his wife, he's like, man, people were such good people, and that's what I like about Keith. He's so respectful. I can take him to my cousin's house who has his own family and kids and stuff like that. I can take a stranger to my cousin's house, who's Keith,
Mhm.
because I trust him, man. He's
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's such a good dude, man. So, and my cousin enjoyed the company. And then we headed up at like 6 a.m. We took off,
How much longer left?
12 hours. And we got like we got like 3 hours away. A 12-hour trip took us like, how long was it? No, it was actually a 9-hour drive. Took us like 14 hours because we kept stopping and
Oh, like for bathroom or like just to check out whatever?
bathroom, food, like,
There you go. You're enjoying the trip.
dude, we're having fun, man.
Yeah, that's what
There's
it's
a
about.
lot of extracurricular activities happening. It was a great time.
Yeah, I mean, it's virtually across country. I mean, it's half the country at least.
Yeah.
you know.
Oh no, dude.
Drive,
I
so.
was 3 hours away from DC. So
Yeah.
That's-
You put some miles on that
Yeah.
rental car.
I know, right? That rental car got so torn up. But anyway, so we went up there, had a blast. Oh my God, I needed that. Had so much fun with the kids. We had such a cool Airbnb. Virginia's beautiful.
It is.
The people, amazing. I mean, like Southern hospitality. They say they're in the South. I don't believe that.
Yeah, we're the wrong people that because I agree.
I'm like,
they're East
no,
Coast.
no, dude. I'm from the South.
Yeah, right.
I can spit and hit Mexico. Like we're right there.
They're like, we chose our side during the Civil War. We're the South.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's the only. But they were sweet people.
Yeah, they're good people.
Because of the earache situation got worse while I was there, and I went to a doctor there, and I was like, I don't have insurance. I'm not from here. And he saw my ear, and he was like, oh my God. Like it was swollen shut, dude. Like this was shut.
Jesus.
Never had anything like that.
You can
before
keep
in my
those
life.
headphones, but
No, this was like 4 weeks ago. We're good. It was actually swimmer's ear.
Doing a lot of swimming?
I was in a hot tub and I went underneath.
My guy, why are you going underneath the water in a hot tub?
No, I'm just kidding. No, dude, I was having fun and I decided to dip myself in, and then as I went up, I was like, yeah, that was not a good idea. I forgot hot tubs have so much chemicals in them.
Bro, hot tubs are disgusting.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not trying to put- I'm not
it
putting you
wasn't
on
it wasn't a public hot tub.
Okay, thank God. I'm like,
Yeah.
where was this hot tub?
No, it wasn't a public. It was an Airbnb.
That's better.
So it was like the reason all the chemical was super clean because there was so much chemicals in it.
I'm sure.
But the chemicals got in my ear and messed me up. I mean, it was swollen shut.
Oh my God.
And the guy's like, well, we're going to take care of you. So he gives me these ear drops with steroids, and then that made it worse.
Oh, really?
So then I went back the next day, and they're like, wait, we just saw you. And I was like, yeah, I know, look. And they're like, oh my God. And dude, they were so nice. I didn't even ask for it. They were just like, look, we don't feel right charging you again if you're here for the same thing.
Sure.
So we're going to see you for free, and we're going to let you see the main doctor. And she was such a sweetheart, took care of me, got me a new prescription of ear drops and a steroid to take orally. And it sounds so weird, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Anyway, pause. So yeah, I went to the pharmacy again, and the pharmacy people, bro, so nice. Like, they're like, oh, what happened? You're back? And I showed them, and they're like, oh my God. and they were like concerned, and like they knew I didn't have insurance, so they're like, here, download this GoodRx and let's get you this coupon. And dude, they took care of me.
You're saying that the doctors and the pharmacies in Virginia are better than the car dealerships here in Texas.
Oh God.
They take better care of you.
Oh, better care. And then in Texas, like all these med clinics that we have, they're everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
But dude, they charge you so much.
Dude, yes.
I only paid $80.
That's good.
$80, no insurance.
Yeah, get checked out and all that's great.
Yeah, and they took care of me, man. So shout out to Virginia. Shout out to Lynchburg, Virginia. I forget the place. But it's not like anybody there is listening. Or maybe.
I mean, that's the goal, is one day, get them to listen.
Centra something. I don't know. I thought when I read it, I was like, oh, perfect. It was called Centra something. I was like, oh, they deal with my people. I'm good. I can go. And it was not like that, but whatever. They were great people. I had a great time.
That's awesome.
Fast forward, because I had to go, I told Val in the morning, I was like, hey, this was like round 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been dealing with it during a round, but I was powering through it. And I was like, Val, I'm in pain. Like, this sucks. Like, it was to the point where it got so swollen that my ear was like drooping.
Oh God.
And she saw it. She was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, no. So I went to the doctor, got taken care of. And as soon as I was done at the doctor's, I threw a cotton ball in my ear. I went out to New London, which is the course out there.
Yeah.
They're Planet Worlds. And I maneuvered my way through the course without messing with any cards.
Very professional.
Very professional. Was very courteous. Ran into a few players that I liked. And hole 10, I met Val.
There you go.
And she had the worst hole when I got there. Oh my God.
Hi, Val. And you're just right there.
Oh my God. Like,
good mood to see
3
you,
rollers in the woods.
bro.
It was rough. Oh my God. It was rough. It was a rough hole. I don't know why I'm talking about this.
I don't know. That is a heck of an experience. So yeah, just not even a positive, like you showed up and then she just drills a freaking 90-foot. No,
I know, right? I was hoping it would be
that.
that, but it wasn't that. But anyway, I get there and Macy Valadiaz and her husband, they were on the same card. And the first thing they say when I get there is like, did you take care of your ear? And I'm like, oh, wow, Val, just tell everybody my business. Like, the whole card. Hey, how was your ear?
He had to go
Yeah.
in a medical thing and know that she spilled the tea on exactly what was wrong with dude.
You know Val.
Dude was skinny dipping in some nasty hot tub.
Oh my God. And that's Val. You know how she is, bro. She totally called me out in front of all her friends, and I had to pull her aside, and I was like, seriously?
Can you come up with a cooler story?
In front of all my friends? Really? But no, she turned it around. We had a great event. I feel like me and Val vibe real well as a caddy, because I'm not really a caddy. I'm just a bag carrier.
Sure.
But I joke around, but she tested me this weekend
Okay.
at Worlds. And I told her, I was like, yeah, you have a different bag now. Because I'm able to see, I know what she throws now. I know what molds she really likes. So I was like, you have a different bag now. I think I've already got it though. And she's like, oh yeah? Well, let's see. What is it? What do I have in my bag? And I'm like, oh, crap.
Let's go.
Pop quiz.
Mm-hmm.
I hated these. And for the most part, I think I nailed it. I think she would say so too. And I even I even made a couple caddy calls. They went OB.
You made some poor caddy calls.
I made some poor caddy calls. They went OB. But the thing is like the fact that she has that trust in me to actually like, it wasn't a lot, obviously, because she's a pro. I let her do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she has enough trust in me to actually, listen to some of my advice is cool. Like it wasn't like that when I first started caddying for her. And by the way, that Worlds marked the whole year of me caddying for Val.
That's cool.
The first time I caddied for her was Worlds in Vermont.
Big deal.
So I was excited. I could tell she'll never admit it, but she was excited. She loved it.
You guys in your weird passive aggressive like vibe bit, whatever. It's
a very big brother, little sister.
She said, "Thank you. I enjoyed this last year as well," in her own way.
Yes, exactly. No, but I know exactly what she likes. She's very particular about certain things. For instance, me being the bag, because I am the bag, right? Some caddies are like can kind of, when they're putting or doing anything, they get their disc and they kind of stay far away.
Mm-hmm.
Val doesn't like that. I have to be like right behind her every single time. Gotta be. She just feels comfortable when the bag's close.
Okay.
And I'm cool with that. And I've learned to not be so nervous, especially when there's cameras around, to be right next to her all the time. Because, man, and people are watching, like, it can get kind of nerve-wracking if you're not used to it. Now, bro, I'm like,
professional. Look at
I'm
that.
like disc golf famous, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, man, I see you on TV all the time.
That's
and
a
I
cool
was
feeling.
like, I mean, it's Disc Golf Network.
People go their whole lives
not
without
really
ever
TV.
being on TV, dude. It's a thing.
But no, I mean, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I really feel our relationship has gotten so much better as far as like a caddy player. She did go with some of the calls that I said, and she did go out of bounds. However, she acknowledged that it was just a bad shot. She
Okay.
could definitely do it, and I think she should have been going for it. It was if I'm gonna let y'all into it, it was hole 10 on Ivy's course, which was like oh my god, it was long.
Okay.
And it was all downhill, and it's so deceiving because you throw and you're downhill, and then the next shot is also downhill, but it starts to come up and it looks so far away. So she kept laying up and then going, so just taking a par, like just settling for par.
Mm-hmm.
And when she laid up the first time with her putter, it was a standstill and she barely threw her putter, and she like landed almost too long OB for her next shot. So in my mind, I'm like, if you're doing a standstill putter and you're at the edge of the OB almost long, then you can take your Zeus and pop that shit and get to the green.
Yeah, in theory.
Yeah, and she totally could. She didn't, unfortunately. It's a tough shot. But she did acknowledge that it was just a bad shot. Like she could definitely do it. So good caddy call, kind
Keep
of.
that in your pocket in case she does want to fire a shot at you, being you make some bad calls. You're like, well,
Yeah,
just keep that ammo stacked just a little bit.
and there's not a time that I'm caddying for her where she doesn't bring up the times where I got fired at USDGC.
Okay.
And where I left her without her putters on hole 18 in front of the whole crowd. And I told her, I was like, you know what though? That was such a great memory though. If you really think about it, like
memorable for sure.
Oh my God. It was so memorable because I was there, and Owen was there, and we were talking, and I'm like, hell yeah, talking to Owen. This is so cool. And I'm right here where we kind of finished, and the basket's way over there. My mind, Val took her putters, right? This is where I hadn't learned yet that I got to be close all the time. And as I look up, and she's probably like 200 feet, almost 300 feet away from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I look at her as she's walking to the basket, she has nothing in her hands. And I'm like, shit.
Do you just panic run, just goofy sprint?
As soon as I realized it, she realized it, because then she's going like this, lining up her putt, right? And then she looks for me, and I'm nowhere to be found.
Oh God.
And she finally catches me way up there, and she's like, Jay. And she does this The serious face,
man,
like
that's the mama right there.
oh, dude, the mom. Oh
You're
my
about
god,
to get popped?
yes,
Oh,
dude,
my
I
God.
got that from her. And dude, the worst part about this whole situation, the whole crowd on 18's green just starts laughing at me, dude. Like you just hear the chuckle.
That's funny.
What a loser. Okay, this is the best part though, right? So I finally get there. She lines up her putt, misses it.
Bro.
Oh, it was all my
You got to
fault.
take the blame on that
It
one. You
was
threw her
all-
mojo off.
It was all my fault, dude. So, yeah, but she brings it up all the time, but it was a great memory. We'll always remember that.
I hope you can laugh about it now. I think it's hysterical because that seems like my anxiety. I would probably just want to bury my head in the dirt. after that.
I
That is-
wanted
oh my
to
God.
because at that point I really
What do you
wasn't.
say? Do you just go, I'm sorry? Like, what do you do? How do you approach that?
No.
Especially with Val.
After you just don't say anything. You just shut the fuck up.
Like, I'll see you in the car. I'll see you in the Jeep. Bye.
Yeah, like I've learned that with Val. Like there's certain times where you excuse my language. I know I've been cussing a lot, but that's the way
Yeah, it's your show.
that's the way we're doing it now. But I know when it's time to shut the fuck up with Val. I know, and I'll give you another in on Worlds. So the day before the round, she had on hole 14 at Worlds, which is such a it's a stupid hole. Okay. It was the one that everybody was rolling down on that hill. But the first shot, you have to go over this little creek, and there's one tree in the middle. And she hit that tree and went OB, right?
Bummer.
And she goes, dang it. I was aiming for that tree. And I was like, okay. I get it. Some people do that because they're like, I'm aiming for it. I'm not going to hit it.
That's what I do. I can never hit the gap I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
So if I aim for the tree, I will never hit it.
So fast forward to the next round, the next day, the hole before that hole, whew, she has one of those holes where, you know, I have to kind of test the waters a little bit. She wants to joke around or not. She had a bad hole. I'm not going to say how bad. It was just bad. And on the way I tested it out, I was like, all right, just do me a favor. Don't fucking aim at that tree this time. Silent.
It's on her. Oh, boo! That joke is good,
Oh, dude. Silence, bro. And I was like, okay. I didn't say anything. I let it. I didn't say anything. I just kept my mouth shut for at least 2 holes, and then we were back to normal. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
And we even brought it up. We talked about it later that night. She's like, "Yeah, you're doing better. You know when I'm not. I can read her. You know."
Sure.
So yeah, that was a fun time. You can tell I had a fun time.
That is, I can't tell, and I'm really glad.
Yeah,
About
I love caddying.
It's shy of you leaving the player when she needs literally her putters. I mean, it's the best of both worlds because you get to experience. There's no one else out there that gets to experience the course the way you do. You've got the best tickets or best seats in the entire event.
The best seats, and I see the players that I want to see. And if I want to go out and when it comes to Worlds, we do end up staying to see the finish on these. And I went live. Somebody got mad at me because I went live when Isaac won, and they hadn't watched the coverage yet. My bad.
Boo.
My bad. All right. I'm sorry. I was so excited being at Worlds and enjoying it and wanted to share it with all y'all. An exclusive live footage, but my bad.
Fair enough.
Get live. I'm just kidding, my man. I hope you buy from LuckyAceDisc.com.
I mean, I get it. You can still experience it. This is not it's not a Marvel movie or something where you're like, dang it, you can still enjoy the show.
Yeah, and he was
Enjoy
winning the whole time. I think it was pretty obvious he was going to win. Come on. I get it. But Isaac, when Isaac's on, you remember when we were at Champions Cup?
Yeah.
Dude, and I kept saying, there's no way he shoots that again. Each round I said that. There's no way he shoots that again.
Dude was clean.
There's no way he shoots that again. Because I wanted Mason to win. Mason was on lead card, man. And Isaac just wouldn't let anybody catch him. And when he's in that zone, he's the best disc golfer on the planet.
He's great.
Back-to-back world champ. Shout out to Isaac, man. Isaac Robinson. And what an event. But an even bigger shout out, and I don't care if anybody's talking trash about how she stumbled into the win because she can't putt. Let's go, Evelina. Like that.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, you still have to execute. I mean, you still have to make those shots happen, and she did, and she won. It had a little bit of a Holland Hanley meltdown. You know what I mean? To win, but she still won. I mean, you know, when you have the opportunity to win and you see somebody melting down, you still got to play your game.
Mm-hmm.
That course was not easy for those ladies. I mean, and as far as she can throw, it didn't. It gave you an advantage, but there was so much OB. You had to throw far and be technical.
Dude, she killed it, and that's all those
haters, dude.
all those haters who want to critique. She won. It does. She can 4-putt, and if she wins, she wins.
She won worlds.
Yeah, so whatever. She's got a W, and so she owns that. Good for her.
Shout out to her. I really like her.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the nicest people on tour. And on top of that, we were in Houston, and you know, they learned how to speak English because obviously that's not her first language. But she also knows a little bit of Spanish.
Let's go.
So she started talking a little bit of Spanish, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like,
You just nodded along like, I don't speak. I don't.
I mean, I spoke enough to know and interact with what she was saying because she knows the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to see that, and it also kind of like opened my eyes. I'm like, man, Americans, we're so uncultured.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, these Europeans come over, they not only learn English, but they learn other languages from their country, and we're over here like, oh, you don't speak English?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we're an ignorant bunch.
we are, dude. The whole like, oh, because down here, I'm just, by example, down here, it's all, oh, you speak Spanish, you need to speak English. And I'm like, you guys realize that Spanish is also a European language. Like, it's,
You'd think you'd speak the language of our neighbors, one way or the other. Yeah, but it is what it is.
but whatever.
Yep.
I don't want to get into that. I can go on and on and on. This is not that podcast. By the way, did you see the debate? No, I'm just kidding.
You got your dog? You got dogs or cats? Keep them inside.
Dude, I saw that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, not
Keeping
doing
it
that.
fun and light.
Yeah, keeping it fun and light. Let's talk about it. Who are you voting for?
Yeah, no, but yeah, I'm glad that you had a great time. I'm glad that, you know, at the very least, spirits are up, because running a business one way or the other, business doing well, business doing bad, you can either have a business that's doing poor for things outside of your control and be happy, or sad. And so you're doing it, and you're at the very least have a better attitude about it.
Yeah, I'm in a better place now. Like I said, I'm not one to like linger in depression, but you know, stuff messes with me, and I deal with it in my own way. And sometimes it affects the people around me. I'm already, you know, I'm okay to admit I'm already bad at communicating a lot. So when I get in these moods, it gets even worse, and you know, it rubs people the wrong way, as it kind of should. You know what I mean? Like it can come off disrespectful.
Yeah, I can. And that's something that I'm really trying to work on, because I'm the same kind of way, where especially if I'm in a bad mood, and I go through my moods, I just kind of shut down, you know, leave me alone. And it's nothing against other people, but communicating, hey, I'm in a funky space right now, especially like with my wife. Like, I'll tell her, hey, feeling kind of funky. She knows, hey, I'll leave you alone until you come to me.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And just even communicating that much of like, hey, I'm in a funky mood,
Right.
is helps a lot of people understand.
Yeah, man. And to also let y'all in, I think that's kind of what happened with the whole Debbie departure too. Not only from the employment, but from the team. It was a lot of that going on. I'll own up to it. I was not a good owner on that aspect. I always struggled with communication, but when things started getting tough, the business started getting tough, it was a very stressful situation for both of us. Not that we were angry with each other, but there was times where there was frustration from her because I was not very communicative.
I'm sure all those words.
I didn't communicate well.
Sure.
And that's why I'm telling y'all, like, you know, even though I didn't mean for the communication not to be there, because there's other people too. It's not just Debbie. I didn't do it on purpose. I don't want to disrespect y'all. I love y'all. You know, me and Debbie have talked. Obviously, we're still great friends. It's not, but the main thing for her is I want to go back and focus on being your friend.
Yeah.
That hit me real hard.
That's important.
And I agreed, because it got to the point where my business was failing. Debbie was attached to the business, so I kind of like didn't want to deal with it, which also meant I was almost unknowingly shying away from her when she needed me the most because she felt like the failure was falling on her too.
That's understandable.
And I'm sorry for that. I really am, because Debbie means a lot to me. And not having her on the team hurts, if I'm being quite honest.
No, I hear you, man.
It hurts, and I feel the business, fuck that shit. I failed. It happens. No big deal. Relationships like that with her, man, that sucks, because I almost lost that relationship, and that sucks because she means a lot. She did a lot. She was Lucky Ace, plain and simple. I did all the fun stuff and was the face. Debbie ran everything. So not only was it a big hit for the business, but also for the team. I mean, I know I'm getting a little emotional now, but everything's good between me and Debbie. But we did go through this, and it sucked. And it was 95. I would say 99.999% my fault.
If you could do it all over again, or you like go to the point where you think it started to not, it kind of started to fall apart a little bit, what would you have done differently?
As far as the business or my relationship with Debbie?
I guess both, because I'd probably the relationship hurt.
My relationship with her is good now. We literally talk daily, and we're growing that part of it again, and I'm happy for that. Okay. But are you talking about like the business part?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, we can definitely talk about that in a minute, but I feel like in this regard, we said, the relationship stuff started to almost fall apart. Like, what would you have done differently, or was there something you could have done differently?
I should have seen what was going on as far as the business, the sales, the trends. And I probably should have shut down the business earlier.
Okay.
Not the business, the shop earlier. And I would have been in a better place mentally because I wouldn't have lost so much. But the truck too, and that's why I brought up the truck, because not only was I hurting on the money coming in with sales, but then I got hit with a big bill with this truck, and it was I'm not one to throw pity parties, but man, I was getting tested and I knew it. And I don't speak a lot about it. I'm not a religious man, but I am a man of faith. And I did feel like, okay, God's testing me. You know what I mean? I'm being tested right now, and it's how I respond. And yes, I didn't freak out. I didn't lose it. I didn't, but I got in my hermit shell, and I hurt some people by doing that. And so I think, to answer your question, it sounds like a broken record, but what I would have done differently has been a lot more open with y'all and Debbie and the people that were part of Lucky Ace, because I think it kind of blindsided everybody. And I think everybody kind of is in this mood where it's like they see me and they're like, okay, they see Lucky Ace is still going on, but they don't know what's going on. So this podcast will really help a lot of people know the truth and exactly what we're planning. And I know I said it'd be short, and I see we're running
about an hour, but hey, this is very important. I can't imagine a more important topic, especially for Lucky Ace. So.
Yeah.
Go on, man.
So before we get off the topic, Debbie, thank you for everything that you've done for us. Not just Lucky Ace, but for me. I want you to know that I love you, and I've told you that. And it was such a great ride. We have so many memories together. Florida, I'll say it. Me and Debbie, we got to stay with Paul Macbeth.
You'll always have Paul.
It was pretty cool. And I don't even like to talk much about that because it's really the kid's relationship with him. I just so happen to be there. I don't talk about that part just because I'm not at all trying to make any type of get any type of clout for knowing him, because it's through the kids. And first off, they would make fun of me because I'm such a big fan, and you
gotta be cool, man.
When I first started hanging out around him, it was a little tough. It's a lot easier now.
Sure.
but yeah, so Debbie, we shared that. We got to stay with him, Hannah, and the baby, and that was cool. Those are experiences not a lot of people get to experience, and I got to do that with Debbie. So
that is awesome.
We had a lot of fun. We ran a lot of tournaments together. I will say this. I let her know the door will always be open whenever she wants to come back to the team. Obviously, the working for the business is not going to be there right now, but the door's always open.
That's y'all's fault. No,
but yeah, she thanked me for that, and she reiterated, she wants to focus more on our relationship before we even think about coming back.
Dude, that's wise.
To Lucky Ace. And I respect that, and I'm excited that I at least have the opportunity to still be friends with her.
Yeah, because, I mean, as we know, with Lucky Ace, sometimes you're not going to get that back.
Yeah.
So, I think, especially when it comes to Debbie and how vital she is, she's got a great business mind. She's got a great work ethic. I think take the time, let the business heal, let the economy heal, just let all of the parts that are outside of your control sort itself out, and then bring her back, do all that stuff. And it'll be better.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And that's what we plan to do. We're pivoting. We're going to have to name this podcast.
It's just called Pivot, episode 4 Pivot.
It's actually perfect.
There you go. I hate coming up with the names. That's
yeah. So I had my phone. My phone's over there, but I kind of remember what my talking points were, and we're kind of going the flow that I wanted, which is different. You know me, I'm not structured. I told you before this, I'm very chaos, and I love it. That's how I do things. But anyway, my next talking point after the Worlds and talking about me getting my mental game back, me feeling good again. I'm running Lucky Ace by myself. I have my shop right below us. It's in the garage. It's all set up just like it was a shop.
There you go.
And remember that? What is that called? The Dewey? What was the
Dewey Decimal System?
Yeah.
The library thing?
The library, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I was like, it's decimal though. It might be a math thing. But yeah, the Dewey Decimal System. Mm-hmm. I have a Debbie system.
Which is probably more efficient, let's be real.
Super efficient. She's got it labeled, broken down, highlighted for stable, understable, overstable, flight numbers on the bins. So I'm being very careful on keeping everything the same because it makes it so easy. When I get orders, I'm like, okay, looking at my Debbie Decimal System, and I see it. I pull the bin, and I'm like, no way, it's that disc right there, because usually this would take me a long time, but I'm like, oh my God, it's right here. She's so good. So I'm trying my best to do the Debbie Decimal System for the shop. It was a little bit of getting used to again doing the online orders.
I'm sure
there's been a few, and there was some when I was at Worlds, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot. I got to put it on the website that I'm not there. So, and those were all the things that I had with Debbie, and I don't have it anymore. So it's tough, and I'm learning. And I already knew that she was a big asset to this business, but now it's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks doing the logistic stuff like that, having to look at the order form, fulfill it and all that stuff. I dread anything to do with the mail. So I can't imagine how just tedious and how much that's got to be.
She's so good at that, and I'm not. Chaos. Remember, chaos. But I'm trying, so I'm getting better. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. That was very important to me. I didn't make a post about it because I knew that I was going to come on this podcast and talk about it. If I'm being honest, I say that a lot. I got to stop doing that. If I'm being honest, but I do use ChatGPT for a lot of the posts now because I suck, and that's just how it works. So I'm using it. So I didn't want to do that for a Debbie post when she's so important to me. Sure. So I wanted to do it on camera. I didn't even tell her I was going to do this. But yeah, thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yes, thank you. So moving forward. So I'm glad we got that out because that's also therapy for me.
Sure.
Letting everybody know what's going on. Okay. I feel like when I thought about this podcast, I was like, okay, I'm going to give them that. and then it's gonna sound like Lucky Ace is done, and then I'm gonna play the clip from Wolf on Wall Street.
I'm not
fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Okay. Lucky Ace is not leaving. We're pivoting. There we go.
Good move.
There we go. We're pivoting. We're pivoting again, like Tim Duncan or Hakeem Olajuwon, you know?
There you go.
We're pivoting, and I touched on the events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had a meeting with Brian Trahan and David Ruined. Hope I said that right, David.
Sounds right.
We were literally talking about it, pronouncing it yesterday, so I hope I nailed it. We had a meeting, and when I have meetings, we're playing disc golf. I just want to let y'all in.
I mean, what more appropriate place though?
I mean,
you know,
there's big business deals that go on a golf
course. Yeah, it's just
so same thing. So, anyways, we're having a meeting at Stonebridge, and my biggest thing, and Brian's thing too, is like, and David, I'm like, okay, look, these C-tier flexes, I don't want to say they suck. They suck. It's so played out. Everybody does it. There's no difference. So I'm like, what do we do to be different? Like, how are we going to be different again? You know what I mean? And not just different, like, how are we going to get players out again? And the one thing that everybody knows about a C-tier flex, it is somewhat of a cash grab.
Sure.
Let's be real. It's a bit of a cash grab. So Brian's idea was, hey, let's do a league.
Okay.
Let's not do the C-tier flex. Well, we'll still do some, but let's start and do a league. And in that league, we're able to pay AMs cash.
Is there some kind of like loophole or rule about that?
Well, if it's a league, yeah, you don't have to. They don't have to be paid out merch. They can get paid out cash for the league play, right? And that's cool because what happens with the AMs is they pay in, and they constantly get coupons to luckyace.com, and they just save them, and then just start buying here and there. But they have so much, and they're like, I don't know what to do with all this money. It'd be nice if they get some money back, right? So
a little bit nice, yeah.
I wanted to be like, you know what? I want to give back, completely give back. I know, right? It sounds weird because it's like I'm hurting and I'm trying to give back.
You got to spend money to make money, man.
It's
That's
true.
Armchair CEO 101.
So it's true. And the way we've set it up is like, if you want to support and you want to buy stuff from us and you want to help us run, then there's certain ways to do that. So what we do, you pay in. The only thing that's taken out is your PDGA fee, which I believe is $1.
Okay.
For your entry fee. Everything else, 100% payout to the player.
Nice.
AMs and pros. This is on Tuesdays. It's traveling too. So the last two have been in Northside Christian. The next two will be at Eric Patty, McDade, and then there's one more that I forgot. I think Stonebridge.
They're not too far from each other.
Yeah, no, not too far. We're still on the north side. The only one that goes a little further is Eric Patty, but people like that course. It's fun.
Yeah.
So this was actually Brian's idea. I think it's a great idea because what it does is it does give back. You're paying in cash. You're going to get it back. We're going to run this great. Brian does a great job. I mean, he takes time. He puts the flags out, paints the lines. Yes, he uses his one wheeler to do it, but that's
just efficiency.
Smart.
You know how jealous I am about that? I wish I had the coordination to do
right?
that.
Oh, man, this guy's so good on it. So yeah, it was all his idea, and me and David were like, yes, let's do it. And we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we'll do this. Ace pot's only $3. CTPs is $2. And then I went in, I jumped in, and I said, we're gonna do a Lucky Ace tiered CTP, and I'll explain why I made it a tiered CTP, because again, I'm not trying to make this a cash grab. However, this still helps me. So if you guys ever get a chance to get into the tiered, please do so because it generates sales. But I give back. So it's one disc, right? Until we hit $25. Okay. Once we hit $25, it is now 2 discs. And every $20 after that, I'm adding another disc.
Cool.
So, for instance, it was $45 the other day. That's 3 discs. That means you're getting 3 discs. You only put in 5. and there was $45 out there. So I'm making only $15 a disc. I could sell it for more. Just want to point that out. Now, of course, there's going to be some times where it's like at 40.
Sure.
And you're only getting 2 discs. So I'm selling 2 discs basically for 20, you know, but that's just how it works. You know what I mean? I'm going to give a little. I could get a little. That's how it works. But I think the tier thing is cool because the first time I did it, I was trying to explain it and they were kind of like, okay. And then the guy did it, $5. He comes back the next day. He's got 3 discs. I mean, and any disc you want. I'm talking, and I have those new Discraft Jawbreaker Flex, like they're $25, $30. Man, you can get 3 of those.
Got Paul's name on it. It's a freaking $30 disc.
Yeah, you it's like $90. You just put $5 in there. You know what I mean? So once people catch on and we have like 150 in there, guess what? Your CTP, you're gonna get like 10, 15 discs, man. It's gonna be awesome. So
that's smart.
That's a way for the player if they want to. It's totally optional. If they want to help. The other way is we're going to be setting up shop at every single league that we run, and we'll be selling discs. And I'll be rotating discs in and out so that it's not the same setup every single time that we set up.
That's cool.
So those are ways that we can give back. Remember, league 100% payout back to the player besides the PDGA fee. $3 Ace Pot, $2 CTP, and then the $5 Lucky Ace tiered CTP. I mean, you can't beat it. If you want to just go and play for $10, you can go play for $10. If you want to try to get some extra cool stuff, throw in an extra $10. You have 2 different CTPs that you're in. You're good to go.
Nice.
You know, and Ace Pot. Sorry.
And when is this? You said Tuesdays. Like what time?
Every Tuesday. Right now it's a flex from 4:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll change when the time change. But that is something you have to hit up. It is such a hit. The ratings are good.
Awesome.
The ratings are good. I shot even at Northside. It was like 922.
Let's go.
I shot 6
so
up
you're
today.
Saying I have a chance. You're saying I've got a chance.
Yeah, dude. So come get your ratings up. Come spend time with us. I mean, hey, let's be real. When we first started Lucky Ace and we were all there all the time. I'm calling myself out because Brian called me out. He said, bro, I can do this and I love doing it. But if you're not showing up, you know, like you need to show face for the people that are running these events for you. Call me out.
That's fair.
And I'm sure he was expecting me to get mad. I was like, you know what, Brian, you're right. You are absolutely right. I'm sorry that I have not been present, and I'm going to be present.
Nice.
So your boy's getting kind of good.
Yeah.
Kind of good.
Well, you're hanging around the best. You know, even just a little bit of that's got to rub off on you.
I am getting a little bit of Val's putting touch. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure she wouldn't be happy to hear that.
I taught her everything she knows, so it's only it's only fair.
That's awesome. No, dude, that sounds great. That sounds really cool. I'm glad. I think it is definitely a unique approach to how do you stand out in this pretty, flooded market right now. Lone Star is literally around the corner. We got, I think there's a few shops around here, and they're all, doing their C tiers and stuff. And so I think this is, at the very least, you're the only league here.
Yeah,
that's fun.
So I mean, we're not the only, but that's another story.
Okay, well, the only one I know about.
But no, I mean, we're not getting into that. The other thing that we're also doing. So again, you're gonna see a trend here, and it's a lot of just like giving back to the player, not trying to cash grab.
Okay.
Marcus, also still Team Lucky Ace. Marcus has been running such a successful mini on doubles on Wednesdays.
Okay.
At Northside Christian because he works right next door. Excuse me. It is. I mean, he gets a bunch of people out there. He gets awesome. Big Ace pots, and it's a mini. Same thing. It's not rated, but 100% cash you put in, 100% out. Not trying to make money off of y'all. Like, we just want you to come and have fun and get back to the essence of disc golf and the way it used to be when there was like a lot of clubs running these events and not businesses.
Sure.
The businesses did have to come in to grow the sport. You know what I mean? But now we're at a point where it's like, I feel at least that the businesses, there's too many businesses that have come in and everybody's just trying to cash grab. And it's just soaking up everything. And it's also soaking up the fun.
That's a good point.
It really is. And this is coming from one of the businesses. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be like Robin Hood right now, and I'm robbing from my shop kind of, and giving back to not the poor. I don't want to call you the poor, but to the players. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is important. Marcus has done such a great job, and I've heard feedback from a lot of people saying like, man, I miss this. You know, we used to do this all the time, and the turnouts were great, and they went away, but now they're coming back. I'm talking Marcus will have over 30 people sometimes. Like,
that's great.
Yeah. The league, the second time we ran it this Tuesday, there was 31 people.
It's really good.
That's more than our flexes. You know what that tells me? People don't like the cash grab. And I get it. I get it. All I ask is that if we're going to do these events and do them well, you know, because we can't just throw them and they suck, right? But we're going to do these events, we're going to do them well. All I ask is that whenever you want to buy a new disc, or some new equipment or whatever, you don't have to buy it from us, but just check us out first. We're local. We show love to y'all. We just want something in return. That's all I ask.
That's fair.
And I'm not, again, I'm trying to give back here. So, you know, anything that y'all can give back helps, and I'm going to put it right back into the sport. That's what I've been doing. That's what made Lucky Ace cool before. We kind of got lost. I'm sorry for that, but we're getting back to the basics again.
That's good. It's good to hear. I think it'll be fun, good for the sport.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm hopeful it'll come around. You know,
yeah. I mean, it is already.
Weather's cooling down. That's probably going to be huge.
So I think Marcus is talking about going to Glow.
Okay.
For the Wednesday doubles. Still at Northside Christian Church. So be on the lookout for that at the end of next month. But for now, just go out there and have fun. I mean, we get a good turnout. Doubles is fun. You can mess up your shot. Your partner's got a chance to save your ass. You know, that's
which is big for me. My job is just ruining my partner's round. That's that's all I do.
So that's gonna be something that's gonna be like a weekly thing. I'm actually going to Tat tomorrow to get around in with Noble. If you know who Noble is the owner of Cypress Disc Golf.
Oh, nice.
And great friend of mine. I remember when we first started Lucky Ace, my thing was we should be working together, not individually. And I needed to put my money where my mouth is. And I love Noble. And we have run things together in the past and done well. So we have a B tier coming up in October. So it's coming up real fast, and we haven't even announced it yet. So I'm going to Tat tomorrow to kind of iron out the details. I'm saying it now because I know when this comes out, I will have already greased everything and ironed it all out.
Well, pressure's on you then.
Yeah, it is. But I'm meeting with Noble tomorrow. Cypress Disc Golf and Lucky Ace Disc Golf are going to combine and run a 2-round B tier event.
Nice.
At Eric Patty and Tat, Texas Army Trail. If you're not familiar with Texas Army Trail, it is the best course in Houston, Texas.
It really is.
The best course in Houston. The best course in Houston, Texas.
It can be pretty brutal. But
it can be brutal.
It's a fun brutal.
But it is the best, absolute best.
Watch out
course.
for snakes.
Yes, watch out for snakes. That B tier will be announced probably when this podcast comes out. So I'm okay with us just putting it out there now. Yeah. The Texas Hill Country Classic in November at the Zip. I know Lucky Ace is no longer there at the Zip, but I mean, it's not like we left on bad terms. You know what I mean? We're still going to do it. Second weekend of November, the Texas Hill Country Classic, also a B tier. Make sure to sign up for that one. If you haven't been to the Zip, they allow camping now. They have what they call the keg, and it's like a ice house, and they have food, snacks. Mm-hmm. It's such a great place to hang out for disc golfers. So make your way out there. I'll post sign up soon. And then I think that's it as far as like the events that I have planned now that I'm able to talk about. There's some others down the road that we'll talk about that'll be big. But I think I could go a little bit more, but
just take it a step at a time. Next episode will
be fine. I'm really happy to get back in the groove of the podcast.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. Okay, yeah. So where we're going. We're running these events. Lucky Ace is gonna get better at social media.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we've been real stagnant. That's gonna change. My focus now is gonna be more podcast and YouTube videos. Me and AJ had this really cool idea of first it was just AJ getting better with AJ.
I was trying, because I'm very, very trash. So
I should be pro by now, but I'm not. So I wanted to join AJ and we wanted to do videos where we reach out to the pros on our team, even if they're not going to be on our team next year, because if y'all heard the beginning of the podcast, you'll know the situations that we're dealing with. They're still our friends. So guess what? They're still going to be involved with a lot of Lucky Ace stuff. Okay. So they'll still be able to come hang out with us, shoot videos with us. Maybe we'll work out a deal to where we are their podcast sponsors. That, you know what I mean? Something small.
Yeah.
But where they're still a part of it because I love those kids and, you know, they love me more than anything in the world. Right?
Sure. I can't dispute it.
Right. For sure. Especially Alexis, right? My favorite. She's going to say, you kook.
Yeah. This crazy old man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to them again. That trip really helped me. Shout out to Alexis Monano, Val Monano, Mason Ford, Keith Meets, and oh my God, Nate. I don't know his last name. He's still kind of, for me, he's new. Obviously, Alexis been dating him for a couple years, but he's still new to me, so I don't know his last name.
Monano, I don't know.
Oh my God, I know it. Hold on a minute. I forgot it. Anyway.
Yeah. Nate.
Good dude. Shout out to him. It was cool getting to know him. You know, I've always known him as like the guy that's on the phone with Alexis because he was in Guam. You know, he was a military. So it's cool getting to know him. That whole dynamic. That trip was great, and I'm glad to be back on the pod. As you can tell, it's a little different. AJ is no longer behind the camera. He is right here next to me.
Yep, just awkwardly standing and trying to chime in when I can. Yeah.
You do so good at it though.
Look, if there's one thing I can do, I can just go, I can nod along like a mother. I'm good at that.
Well, I mean, the thing is I would say, yeah, I have more to say because I am really involved in the disc golf and everything. But if we're being real, I know that you're the better podcaster. If y'all haven't, let's go ahead and plug your podcast because I watch it, you know, every chance that I get. I don't watch every episode.
That's fine. I don't listen to her stuff back.
I watch it and I'm just like, man, I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier to have AJ in front of the camera. Since she's such a great podcaster. Genre Geeks.
Yeah. We're a nerd pop culture podcast. So we talk about all the things, video games, movies, comics, stuff like that come out. Mostly movies and games right now. And we do movie reviews and we have our just general coverage that we do. But yeah, we're going to be at Fan Festival in Dallas end of October. One of the weekends in October. So we're going to be there having some fun. They gave us some stuff for that. And yeah, I think the next thing we're probably going to cover, we're hitting a bad dry season right now with movies. So I don't even know what the next movie is that's coming out worth talking about. We hate watched The Crow recently. If you want to,
you hate watched it,
dude. It's as bad as you expected it to be. Even if you don't, and I love The Crow.
I did like it, but I've not seen the new one. I hear it's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
I've heard it's horrible for a while during the production and everything. I heard
it's
horror
not good.
Stories.
So if you want to hear me rant about that, then you can check out the show Genre Geeks.
And I enjoy that stuff. I'm a big nerd. There's times where we might break off into that type of talk here. So.
Bro, it's our show. When we're setting up, we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine and stuff.
Yeah, it was fun. Star Wars. We were talking about Star Wars. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, that broke my heart.
Oh my God, that was sad. I mean, he wasn't just Darth Vader, obviously.
My friends, we talked about it on my show, and they were asking like, who is James Earl Jones to you? I'm like, Darth Vader to me, Mufasa to me.
Darth Vader, Mufasa.
They were like, oh, it's homeboy from Sandlot.
Yeah, I know. That was my next thing. Was he was on the Sandlot, and that movie? Oh my God, that was my childhood, bro.
For sure.
I didn't really play that much baseball, but man, that movie was like my absolute favorite movie. And he had it wasn't a big part, but that was the guy who had the beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was a blind neighbor dude.
Blind neighbor dude.
Yeah, that's how I remember. I didn't watch Sandlot a lot, but yeah.
But dude, that voice, I mean, Mufasa, that dude, it sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It sucks getting old and like seeing like these people like get old and die.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm 31 and I'm hitting the point where I'm getting the bad parts of getting older, where now if I eat too much salt, I get heartburn. And that's really bumming me out. And I'm like, this is the most lame part of getting, where it's not like I'm getting gray hairs or I'm getting distinguished. I'm just like, now my body is failing me in the lamest ways possible.
Oh, bro,
popping Tums like freaking candy, dude. It's a problem.
I had really bad heartburn when I was drinking, but when I stopped drinking, that all went away. Not that you drink. I'm not saying
I'm not. I don't drink. It's just that black coffee messes me up, and I'm like, God dang it, it's ruining me. Yeah, it's a bad time. I just suffer.
Heartburn sucks, dude. I hate it.
But yeah, so we're gonna be trying doing the podcast significantly more frequently.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, we're gonna try to get some videos done and stuff. I think that's a really good idea. But yeah, that's I think the big thing. We're consolidating all of Lucky Ace so that it'll be even better what we do eventually put out.
Yes. I'm not fucking leaving. I don't know. Are we editing these podcasts?
I mean, we don't have to anymore. It's your show. Go ahead. Uncensored. Makes it easier for me.
Fuck it.
There you go. I can just get real good with it. Hold on. I gotta. There we go. Yeah. I just gotta make sure that I do that on the fly. Just keep my finger on it.
I mean, you can, but yeah, I feel like people know exactly what word we're saying anyways.
We're big boys and disc golf has a certain demographic, so we're all right.
Yeah, we'll be the bad boys. I am just gonna point this out there. I just noticed that Tua is out of the game, and I bet.
Well, damn.
Well, dang. All right. Thanks for tuning into the Thursday Night Football edition of the Lucky Ace podcast. I am your host, Lucky J Almaguer, AJ Cueve.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, nailed it.
Are you sure?
I mean, yeah, I say Cueve. I don't know if that sounds different. Yeah, that's fine. It's whatever.
Cueve.
Because I answer to all of it.
My last name is Almaguer, right? So when I say, I'll try to say it, Almaguer, and they still say it wrong, Almaguer, and they'll be like, "Is that right?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I just yeah, it's fine. This is not going on any kind of
So when you said that, I was just like, "No, tell me the truth, AJ."
It's AJ Cueve. It almost rhymes.
What's your what nickname do you like to go by? Because I like Lucky J.
I guess go Editor AJ.
AJ.
It's got a.
That's a great nickname.
It is what it is. It puts me in that pocket of I know what I'm good at. All right. I don't pretend to be good at disc golf or any of that other crap, but I can edit like a mother.
No, you do such a great job, and you are also one of the people that has helped Lucky Ace stick around. You've invested your time, which is money. You have 2 kids at home, so I just want to tell you that I appreciate you, brother.
No, I got you, man.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Good episode.